Of course. Let's
So
not
so when you go,
if you've got good in-laws.
so when you go, yes, and there is a huge key. What he just said.
If
you have the right in-laws,
Yeah.
and you find out whether they're in-laws or outlaws on that day.
And that is why I'm saying again, you have to choose wisely.
But you know, it's interesting, these cultural differences, because within our culture, it's kind of frowned upon to ask for a lot of money.
Text of what we're talking about
And
here.
you know, one big part is also because we have a wealth tax. You know, like I don't know if there's any other, you know, like faith that has a wealth tax. Zakat is a form of wealth tax where you're supposed to give every year 2.5% of wealth that's unused that you have sat with for over 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's wealth. If it's cash in the
Go and
bank,
be a Ruto evil.
it's wealth that's unused. You're supposed to give it
this
up,
maker.
which goes out to help the poor. So to me, that's not, and that's the reason why there's not that pressure of, you know, like, you of course, you know, like, occasionally bless the spouse's family, you know, give them something, but it's not an obligation. It's not, and they're very appreciative when it happens, but there's no pressure. You know, like for a man, the pressure is for the man to take care of the wife and the children. That's the only pressure that's there. There's no pressure to cross over and take care of the
In-laws.
of the in-laws. That pressure is completely not there.
And that is why
Yeah.
I'll go back to the beginning. Choose wisely, my friends. Choose wisely.
But now when you say choose wisely, do you mean like you have conversations about this
No,
before
like,
you make that choice?
Of course, but not even that. Even
like,
the people,
like, will I be taking care of your dad and your mom?
those are conversations that you need to have. Or if, let's say, for example, you're talking. So, even back in the day, people used to do. My uncle told me this. Like, you know, people used to do background. There used to be background investigations.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So if you're from a family of thieves or you're known to be thieves, there's no way that's happening.
You have no chance.
If you're from the family of Warogi, there's no way it's going to happen, because you come and tell your dad.
And Naitrana is considered Warogi.
Again,
I'm asking for
I'm talking about
Mika.
Kikuyus. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm talking about Okuyos.
All right.
Okay?
And actually, Omosh, this is how the concept of dowry originated. Dowry was to show, because you're taking this girl from her home to your
Correct.
home. Are you gonna
Correct.
be able to take
Look
care of
after
her
her, yeah.
the same quality of life she was used to?
Yes.
So dowry isn't like buying her, but it's showing that you can actually support her.
Correct.
Versus what you were saying, that dowry is like you're taking over financial responsibility.
Okay, and I think maybe you misunderstood that part.
And dowry actually for us does not go to the parents. It goes to the wife.
Okay.
You see, culture, so different. So me,
Yeah,
when I was talking
it goes to
about
the
what I'm
wife.
talking about, I'm
Yeah.
talking from the Kikuyu perspective.
For us, the dowry is split across the board, right? You when you're because us guys, we do it once. You don't go several times. You go one time. Well, you will go one time. It's not that you go the first time, then they give you their list. No. When you go, unapewa your list sa hiyo. Now, part of what you do is kuna kalikeji unapewa.
Yeah.
Kabla uende.
Of course.
So when you go,
if you've got good in-laws.
So when you go, yes, and there is a huge key. What he just said.
If
you have the right in-laws,
Yeah.
and you find out whether they're in-laws or outlaws on that day.
And that is why I'm saying again, you have to choose wisely.
But you know, it's interesting, these cultural differences, because within our culture, it's kind of frowned upon to ask for a lot of money. So it's funny because in Mombasa especially, yes, there are some families that will ask for a lot of money.
Even for us, like there's some people, even for us.
Yeah.
I know of situations where the girl's family was ridiculous with what they were requesting. The Jama and his people said, "Todie, twende."
But now you see, we see with us, you know, typically, it's very weird. You know, like there was a time a cousin of mine was getting married, and then they asked for dowry, 1,000, and then, you know, another cousin of mine, because we're there, it was like, "Do you mean dollars?" No, 1,000 shillings. And that's what happens sometimes. But now it's up to you. You cannot just give 1,000 shillings. But that's kind of like a challenge to you. This is all we're asking for, but it's a challenge to you. So now...
Ndio tujue pali uko.
Yeah, it's a challenge to you. So
Yeah.
typically, no one will give 1,000. So in some cases, some people will actually give $1,000. But what you are asked for is... So it's frowned upon to ask those crazy amounts. Sometimes we want to scare some crazy amounts
there are ridiculous
that goes
situations.
in the
No.
millions in Kenya.
No, but
I'm like, yeah.
But like in Kikuyu culture, you are not supposed to ask more than you gave for your wife. Let's say technically, if my dad was alive, he would, when giving me away, he would not ask more than he gave for my mom.
Not even
So
that.
what
That's
they
interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But then even
So
before,
the thing
even
that-
Washeke, even before the dad asks, he first has to complete his.
Oh,
Yes, he
alipedeni.
has to. He can now.
Whatever
Yes.
balance
Yes,
he had,
yes,
whatever
yes.
it was that he
But
had,
then,
he has to complete that first.
but then
Yes.
you guys, there's one thing you've forgotten is that dowry negotiations these days are not traditional anymore.
That is true.
They're more led by greed.
Yes.
Again,
But I think it depends. I think it depends, Mika.
It depends. It depends with the
It
family
depends.
you're getting.
Again, it depends.
You're getting somebody first. But yeah, but when you go somewhere and somebody asks you to get for my kid, I need like 5 million. So just 7
no,
million.
no.
Sijui alienda akasoma akafanya nini.
Hapo
It's more
natembea.
greed.
Hapo natembea.
That's what I'm
Unaona,
saying.
Yeah.
It's more of greed. It's not more of sijui ati
Of
ni
course.
culture ya nini ama nini.
But to Washeke's point, like for her dad, if he had not completed, the first thing he has to do is kumaliza. I'll give you
But how would I know that Ajamaliza?
Oh no,
Ama
because
watu
if you go and say I want to go and see your dad.
Correct.
If I want to go see your dad, Washeke says, hey, by the way, there's a guy who is coming. Kuna watu wanakuja.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, now you have sent your representatives. Let's say you've sent Ali, you've sent Mika. Na Mika siende kuzusha huko.
Mika
You've
he'll ask for nini?
He'll ask
Chipotle.
for Chipotle. So Mika goes, your people go. So once that message has been fikishwad that tunataka, like, okay, so what we are going to do right now, I'm going to ask you guys to... It may not even be a surprise, but of course, Washeke will have told them, I think there's some people who want to come and see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that is the case, he's like, you know what? We'll get back to them. He himself
Then he
now...
goes amalize huko.
Anamaliza huko.
Okay.
My career, Babahanya,
Mhm.
his dad.
Kwa ufupi wanasema uwezi kwa credit na una deni.
30 years before he had gone back.
Oh.
He had to go... My family had to go and look for a relative
Okay.
on the
On
the mom's side
Who could accept?
who, and luckily enough there was somebody people had put had
So
have
there was a
records.
record keeper.
Yes.
Where?
So there was no way that Mzee anything would have happened for Lawrence without him having
And
completed
do they factor in inflation?
They forget inflation. Whatever they discuss is what they agree.
Kuna fines unapigwa.
Lakini hizo fines, that is the inflation. That's
Hiyo
the factoring
fine.
of
Ah,
inflation.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pablo hapa anasema the debate stops at that point where we draw. No, I think actually Awar was asking what's a conclusion on oh wow, there were so many comments that were coming.
Choose your
in.
friends wisely.
So Awar said
my power
guilty
died
now
on me.
Magivas you feel because you came to the US, you have to pick everyone up. And she's also asking what's the conclusion on spousal in-law support? Are we helping or not? And then
Inategemea.
yeah, Pablo is saying the
Speak to
debate
your
stops.
spouses.
The debate stops at that point. We draw our own conclusions. The discussion is a thought-provoking exercise, sharing ideas. And then Awar says, these entitled clan folk are even doing it while you're alive, making plans for your assets, encroaching on your assets. It's a crabs in the barrel mentality.
The fences move every day.
Sasa ndo hizo mahasienda mmejenga huko, there are already people who are already writing calculations.
Hapana si hizo.
Yeah, and then
It's the ones that they keep moving are those ancestral.
and then
Those are where the fences move.
and then hapa I think Pablo ananiuliza, so Ali uko na gold. the one that grandma left. That I can't confirm or deny. This is a public forum. I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, there's a pigwa ngeta kitoka hapa.
Yeah.
Malakul maut.
Yeah. One mic speaking for watu wa mlima. And then Slay says also that dowry should be reasonable. Award says there's no end to paying dowry. It's continuous even when you visit. Pablo feels dowry should be outlawed. Nowadays, the man and the woman team up to raise dowry. How can that tradition stand and its meaning got lost?
You do you, Pablo. You do you.
Okay, let me see.
For us guys, you know that dowry is used for, let's say, my sister is getting married. When they pay dowry, those cows that I get is what I would then now use to go get married.
Oh, okay.
So let me ask you, Uno, will you ask for dowry?
Because you have all girls.
Onjeri.
Hey, wacha kwanza nimalize yangu kwanza.